So this is the Rubicon fireless steam locomotive here at the Carillon Museum in Dayton, Ohio. I'm Darren, and this is the Industrial Revolution. On September 27, 2024, Hurricane Helene made landfall in Florida as a Category 4 hurricane. With a storm this large and intense, the damage along the coast was, as expected, extreme. What wasn't expected is what came next. I don't usually talk about current events on this channel, but today I need to. This story, though, hopefully like the story unfolding in Helene's wake, has a positive ending. The storm headed north across Georgia and into South Carolina, North Carolina, and Tennessee before finally dying down in Kentucky. The rain never let up. No one living hundreds of miles from the coast and thousands of feet up mountains ever expects to be hit with a hurricane. Blizzards, tornadoes, even the occasional flash flooding, sure, but nothing like this. I live in Michigan, but I have friends that were hit. Places that I know were hit. Nothing there will ever be the same. If you've been watching the news about Helene, these photos probably look familiar, but they're not from 2024. These are actually photos from the Great Flood of 1913. We've talked about the Great Flood of 1913 on this channel before. When talking about canals throughout the region, they pretty much all permanently closed in 1913 due to massive damage as a result of this one single storm. In late March, with much of the ground frozen solid and plenty of snow on the ground, the rain started. With up to 9 inches of fresh rain throughout the entire central U.S., combined with all the melted snow and the frozen ground preventing any absorption of water, the flooding was beyond anything seen here before. In the end, across the 20 states hit by this storm, at least 750 people died, with most of those in Ohio and Indiana. Total monetary damages are estimated at about $333 million in 1913 dollars, or more than $10 million today. Like today, in 1913, people came together to help. Those with food, water, or shelter offered it to those in need. Businesses, like the National Cash Register Company here in Dayton, which you probably know as NCR, turned their resources to helping those in their community survive. That's how locomotives like the Rubicon became heroes of the flood. So if you've seen any of my canal videos for Ohio or, well, Indiana, you know that the canal industry pretty much died here in 1913 in massive flooding. Well, this isn't exactly a canal, this is a fireless steam locomotive, but this locomotive and others like it really helped to recover from that massive flood. Let's take a look at the locomotive and what it did. In 1913, there were no helicopters. Trains had to do all the hard work instead. Unable to see the tracks, unable in some cases to know if they were even still there, steam trains moved cautiously through and between cities devastated by flooding, first helping to distribute resources and evacuate people, then carrying away the debris before finally helping to rebuild the cities and towns throughout the region. Fortunately, streetcars were still common in big cities, and they often used standard gauge rails, allowing trains good access throughout the cities. Although the big steam trains of the day could certainly carry a lot more, little ones, like Rubicon, which typically worked in factories and switchyards, may have been a little better at the task. First, they were a lot lighter, so damaged rail beds and bridges were more likely to hold them. Second, they used a lot less fuel, which could be in short supply. Finally, locomotives like Rubicon had an extra advantage. Being a fireless locomotive, floodwater wouldn't be much of a problem. Rubicon would recharge with superheated water from the National Cash Register Company factory and could then run for several hours before returning to recharge again. I'm releasing a video on why people would want a fireless steam locomotive and how they work next week. But for now, let's just say that for work in switchyards, in factories, inside of buildings, or in mines, They were far superior to standard steam locomotives. They were also considerably safer. The 1913 flood was unlike anything that anyone in the area had ever seen before, and it decimated the region's canal network, which would never recover. As we often see in disasters, though, people and businesses near and far came together and came out of the disaster stronger than ever. Throughout the region, changes were made to reduce the risk of this ever happening again. The scars left from Hurricane Helene will be with us for a long time, but hopefully the memories of the heroes will be with us even longer. So being a fireless steam locomotive, Rubicon here didn't actually need to carry any fuel of its own. It just had to return back home every now and then to recharge its steam or, well, really its superheated water supply. That allowed it to operate throughout the Dayton area and to assist with the recovery efforts from this massive storm. That's why Rubicon here, as well as many other locomotives throughout the Dayton area, throughout this whole part of the country really, they really made the recovery possible. And that's why this is the Industrial Revolution.